Top shot and goal!
That was arena soccer perfection.
With an absolute golazo!
As good a goal as you can see.
That was a heat-seeking missile.
Oh my goodness, Frank Tayu scores. Oh, heartbreaker.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into the Family Arena for this soccer matchup between the Orlando SeaWolves and the St. Louis Ambush. Welcoming you down onto the field, Patrick Cale alongside Matt Bird. And Matt, a great win for the Ambush last night, 8-3. Then the Tropics go the cross I-70 last night, play Kansas City today. Kansas City pulls off a big win.
What a win it was as well, with Leo Gibson, the mercurial Leo Gibson, scoring with 2.5 seconds left in the game. It's up to the Ambush now to keep pace. You know, the Ambush have got to make hay while the sun shines on this homestand, because Kansas City have won 6 games since starting out the season 1-4.
The second of 7 straight home games in a row in the Ambush. Only a little bit of a change. Joanne Laidley going out, Corey Adamson in tonight.
Well, we saw Laidley last night. I mean, he went off, I think he hurt his leg a little bit, and I think that Coach Everton just wants to see how he goes day to day. And the rest of the team is exactly the same from last night. It surprised me that there was not more rotation. We thought that Axel Duarte, Douglas DeSantos were going to be rotated in tonight, but actually they're out injured on day to day also. And so, you know, Vadim Kochikov comes in, goal and assist. Great start to his season. He needs to do the same again tonight.
And then the Orlando SeaWolves, of course, coming to town, and a lot of familiar faces on this SeaWolves squad.
Well, they used to all play in Cedar Rapids, obviously, last year, and Cedar Rapids is our nearest geographical rival last year, so there's a lot of trades. But, you know, you got Luke Mota coming back. We've got Schmerman, who's suspended, so unfortunately he's not playing. Peter Slee was in goal. You know, Victor Franz, Gordy Gerson. We all know about Gordy Gerson. The man knows where the goal is. He's got 12 goals on the season. He's leading the SeaWolves with goals with Rojas. So, you know, we're going to have to watch for all these guys that we all know so well.
So a big divisional matchup tonight at the Family Arena. We're going to join you on the broadcast shortly, but now we're going to send it to Brian and Angela with the pregame festivities.
Let's hear it for the Hazelwood Middle School band.
Ladies and gentlemen, Patrick Kelly and Matt Bird alongside you as we get ready for this matchup between the Orlando SeaWolves and the St. Louis Ambush. Matt, the Ambush coming off are playing the second game in 2 nights, a big game against Orlando, another divisional matchup that has to be a win.
It's a huge game. It really is. I mean, especially with Kansas City winning earlier in the day. I mean, we've got to try and keep pace with them. It's a massive game coming up next week as we take on the Comets. We have to win tonight. I mean, it's getting to the point of the season where we've got to take care of business, and we've got this big 7-game homestand, and this is game 2. We've got to keep rolling.
Hey fans, please direct your attention to the center circle.
Ready is.
We're 1 week away from Alumni Night.
We're going to have Alumni Night, as Brian Roth is saying, on Saturday, February 9th here at the Family Arena, 7 o'clock versus Kansas City. Doors will open at 5:30 till 6:30 for autographs, and then the players will be introduced with the alumni, and then there will be a all-star game, North County versus South County, at halftime.
Well, on the field right now, we can see former Ambush head coach, former St. Louis Lion, well, he's current St. Louis Lion manager. They're playing the USL Division 3, the old PDL. And Tony's a long-time St. Louis soccer guru, and he'll be playing in the Alumni Night next week. And they're just doing the first kick ceremonies.
Let's hear it again for Steamers and Ambush alums, Tim Walters and the
Tony Glavin will be joined by the likes of Mark Moser, Steve Petcher, Lindsay Kennedy Eversmeyer. I suspect we'll see Mr. Soccer himself, Bill McDermott here. But that's next week. We have to concentrate on tonight. The Ambush have to take care of business tonight. They've played a lot of games against Orlando this season already. They've won 3 of them, 2 very, very close games. You know, the first game of the season was a shootout down in Florida, and then just last week we played them down there, and Zach Reggett scored the game winner with 5 seconds to go in the game. And it would be great if we can make it, you know, if we win tonight, it'd be 3 wins in 4 games, which is basically unheard of for the St. Louis Ambush to go on that kind of a run, you know. But it's going to be tough. Every time you play back-to-back games, it's just draining for these players.
It's a bit different, as also we touched on it last time with the Florida Tropics. We had the Ambush rather had them the second time, and Orlando would be the first game usually. Now we're switching up. They're going to have to play Orlando a little bit differently this game.
Well, I think that Orlando will know that there's no better chance to beat this team than there is tonight. You know, they're fresh. They're going to come out all guns blazing. The teams know each other extremely well. I mean, last year, a lot of these players were in Cedar Rapids. There's been a lot of trades between these 2 ball clubs in the past. I mean, Victor Franz, Mota, Schmerman, Gerson, Peter Slee were in goal tonight. I mean, they were all talking before the game. They all know each other.
Reggett tried to spin around kick, blocked by France. He was carrying it out, then knocked down by Zach Reggett. So it's going to be a foul on Reggett. It's going to be SeaWolves ball.
You know, Victor Franz, he left here to go to Cedar Rapids in a trade that brought the likes of Pablo da Silva to St. Louis last year. He was a very, very offensive-minded threat. And he hasn't really lit it up down in Orlando yet. He was injured for a lot of the first part of the season. But when you've also got the likes of Rojas and Gordy Gersten on the team, you know, you're fighting for opportunities.
As it is the SeaWolves working with her in their own end. Keeper Sliwa pressured by Pepe, able to work it up down the board. Osvaldo Rojas. Handed it off to Alvarez. Over to the far side, and it's going to go down. Back to Sliwa. A shot all the way in. Paulo, nice job jumping up and able to knock that ball away. SeaWolves take over though. And it goes back to Alvarez. Gerson wide open instead of going down low for Osvaldo Rojas.
Very, very sharp first couple of minutes from Orlando.
Shot taken by Osvaldo, misses the net. Bouncing on the board is going to be rebounded by Orlando, and they're just going to send it back to the keeper as they're going to go off for some changes. That's Alvarez heading off. Sending it back down to Osvaldo. Going up against Eduardo. Eduardo was able to briefly knock that away, and
Paulo gets around Clayton, sending it back to Cruz. Now Eduardo Cruz with Clayton near him. Able to get it to Edwin Rojas. And then all the way back to the keeper, Sliwa again.
The ambush is chasing shadows for the first 2.5 minutes of this game so far.
It's Thiago now moving towards Clayton down the boards and briefly loses it, regains possession. Now goes to Gordy Gerson before dropping it back to Sandoval. Ambush pushing a little bit forward. JT, Mario Marcos, and Eduardo now sent into the corner, gets caught up in the netting, and that's going to be ambush ball as both teams make wholesale changes.
Well, the ambush needed that. I mean, they've not really had a kick so far this game. The ball has just been stuck behind the net and the glass there. But we're off anyway with a quick ball, but the ambush the ambush have lost it. Thiago gets thrown into the boards.
Number 40, Mario Marcos is first.
It's going to be the foul on Marcos, and it's going to be a restart. Two-man wall maybe getting set up. Instead, Stefan St. Louis and Adamson break it up. Adamson in the lineup tonight for Dwayne Laidley as a shot taken. Good save by Paulo. And Stefan St. Louis, good clearing attempt forwarded by Vadim Kochikov, heading it up. Now Adamson fighting for it. Knocking down Neto. It goes all the way down to Sliwa. Being pressured by Adamson, able to get it off in the nick of time to Mendoza. Now Edwin Rojas. Goes to Mendoza. Mendoza with some speed and a good break up there by McGee, going down on the ground. Blocked that with his foot. Almeida under some pressure, and nice little move. Able to move the ball upward towards McGee. Ambush still pressed down in their own end. Kochikov sends it deep. Barely keeps it south of the glass. As St. Louis fighting for it, almost got possession, and it's going to go the way of Mendoza and cleared out. Stinson hit hard, no call though as he remains down. Now Kochikov, ambush, going to be a man short. Sending it down to St. Louis, almost got it. Instead, it's going to go to Victor France. He clears it all the way down. Paulo way out of his net, able to play that. Nice move, getting around Moda. Send it all the way down to St. Louis, who went up with Sliwa, but Sliwa's able to hold on to that. Throws it to his defense.
Yeah, the ball was there to be won for Stefan St. Louis. It was a nice fair jump by both players, but Sliwa bested him.
Almeida steals the ball from Sliwa. Gerson closing in on him, drops it down to St. Louis. St. Louis at the yellow line, going to send it all the way back to Paulo as ambush look to make some changes. Out comes Zach Reger for St. Louis.
The SeaWolves have rattled St. Louis here, you know. Even in possession, they're harrying the ambush, they're pressuring them, they're not allowing them any time on the ball whatsoever.
Almeida able to cleanly get to Stinson. Stinson, nice spinorama. Now another one. This time he's tripped up by Cruz. And Stinson takes it right back from Cruz. Nice footwork by him, working down. Now he's going to pick up the Zach Reagan. Left for Stinson. In front was Lucas Almeida, but it's blocked by the SeaWolves. And they'll slowly carry it out of their own end.
What a nice couple of moves that was by Justin.
Is it stolen by Justin Stinson? Almost a goal there, just missed the net. Almost went back for Felipe, then it's going to be taken by Osvaldo, going up against Acosta. Acosta doing a nice job pushing him against the boards, and the ball is going to head back to the SeaWolves defense. Now Thiago Freitas again. Gives it over to Moda. And back for Sliwa, pressure by Clayton. Clayton got a piece of it, and Sliwa's able to jump forward, passes up forward to Gerson, who has Felipe all over him. And now it's Moda. Luis Moda puts on the brakes, cuts back a little bit as Pepe was near him. He'll go off for a change.
Pepe and Felipe there were all over Gerson. There's going to be a running battle all night.
Edwin's able to steal it. The shot taken in front, but just missed. Paulo is ready for that. Now he gets it in the corner. Nice move by Paulo and moves some open field, and is able to clear it all the way down.
It just seems that this game has just started at a frenetic pace. I mean, You need to catch your breath, Patrick. It's been all go since the start. A lot of movement by the SeaWolves. They've had the majority of the possession and a couple of banging shots. And there's another one that Paolo's had to get behind.
Good job controlling the rebound by Paulo as it's taken over by Pepe. Tried to get up to Reggett just a bit past him, but it's going to be a race for it still going in against Sandoval, and Sandoval beats him to it and just hands it off to Alvarez.
That's always a danger with the SeaWolves pushing up and pressing high. They're looking to cause an error, and Paolo's hurt. This is not good news.
Ambush merchandise, including mini squishy balls.
Didn't see what happened. I think it was obviously they got shook up from that shot that he just parried. So he does not look in a good way.
He's holding his knee, the trainer head, and now Kyle Rudy had started running back towards the locker room as Casey Clark is not dressed, so it looks like Paulo might hopefully okay.
Who wants to explain what happened by the ambush? For a chance to win, text play.
This is not what the ambush want to see earlier in this game.
No, I mean, anyone saw that game last night. Paolo played really, really well. He's really come into his own in this league, Paolo.
And you can win an autographed ball by the ambush.
He's a fantastic shot stopper. Sorry, and this does not look good for the St. Louis Ambush. Brian Bounds is out there looking at him right now.
There you have him stand up, and hopefully Paul is able to walk it off as he helps. He gets an official timeout on the field as he has his family in the crowd tonight. His wife Amanda and his son Kawa have been joining us. One of their first times in America is the last time they saw him play live was back of September of last year, back in Brazil when he played futsal. So quite a thrill for them getting to watch the win last night and then getting to watch the game again today.
You know, it's a rough life. Everyone thinks being a professional soccer player is all, you know, glitz and glamour, but you imagine being away from your family for the best part of 6 months a year. It's you know, it's coming to a new country, you barely speak the language, and you know, it's got to be great for him to have some family here, some familiarity, and be, you know, they get to see what he's talking about, what it's all about. And hopefully that they're not put off by the weather that we've been having in St. Louis.
No, I don't think they're going to be too keen to come back after. Well, it's a little nicer today. That's one thing when I was talking to Antonio Manfoot before the game yesterday against the Florida Tropics is he told me at one point he's sitting on the beach in Florida and he pulls up his phone and looks at the weather in St. Louis and it's -4. Yeah, well, he'll look at his phone today and he'll see that they've just lost 2 games in a row. So, you know, you take the rough with the smooth, Antonio. I shouldn't rub it in too much. He's all right.
It's not often that the St. Louis Ambush fans have had much to crow about the last 4 years, so you gotta take it when you can, you know.
Oh, absolutely. Cruz just moves it back to Moda. SeaWolves just grabbing solid possession once again, going to pass it around. Now sent forward by Sliwa into the corner. Trying to settle it with Edwin, and it's going to go back all the way for Thiago. He takes a shot, just misses as there was a lot of people in front. I know Paulo saw that, but here comes Mario Marcos. He's the only ambush man. Cut to the inside now, St. Louis. Marcos wide open net, and that gets blocked in front just before he could get the shot off.
What a little opportunity there. Marcos made it all himself, and then he finally got some help from Stefan St. Louis, who just put Peter Sliwa off a little bit. But Marcos just couldn't get enough on the shot to find a spot. But here comes Stinson now.
Beautiful pass from Kochikov to Stinson. Stinson trying to send it back to Kochikov, but just went past him. Now it's picked up by Neto. Moving forward, 2-on-1. He has Thiago with him. Going up against Acosta. He bounces off the boards in front. Gerson settling in. Now we have a whistle as an ambush player is down. It looks like it's going to be a foul on the SeaWolves.
Yeah, I think the foul was on Paulo. You know, Paulo was the guy that was impeded. You know, Kochikov was just the innocent bystander and all that.
Foul number 75, Neto.
But I think it was for, you know, here's the replay right now. I think the original foul was here when Paulo came out. Maybe not. But either way, ambush free kick.
As Elmo Neto gets this first foul of the game, traded on January 25th from Harrisburg to the SeaWolves. So
and you talk about players, you know, moving away to the beach. You know, it's not that much warmer in Harrisburg, I imagine, either.
About a little north than us, I want to say, on the map, as Almeida takes out France. No call, though France wanted that call. Traded from the ambush last year as Kochikov pressuring. He's pushed off the ball by Edwin Rojas, and that's a foul.
First of the half.
I did not hear a whistle there, and that's why I think Kochikov did not think the play had stopped. Orlando restarts. Sandoval losing it to St. Louis, and then St. Louis taking him down. He's not happy about that call, as he's going to get his first of the half.
I think St. Louis has got a little case there. That he didn't really do much wrong, and Sandoval hit the deck pretty hard with minimal contact.
Passed up to Victor France with Costa on his tail. They're going to have to send it back for Mendoza. Pressuring Sandoval. They're going to send it back down to Victor France in the corner against Acosta. Nice move by Acosta. Took him down. No call, though. It's now Alvarez going up against Almeida. Down to France. Acosta not biting. Then the shot taken by France. Blocked in front by Kochikov. Now Justin Stinson up for Stefan St. Louis. St. Louis stops on a dime. Cutting towards the middle briefly. Then going to send the pass back to Rob Acosta, who just touches it to Paulo and goes off for a change. Now Reggett coming out for St. Louis.
The Ambush are going to have to be disciplinary on their game tonight. I can already see that the SeaWolves, it doesn't take much for them to hit the deck.
Ambush struggling to get out of their own end. Almeida tried the backwards pass to Stinson, instead sent down by the SeaWolves. And Paulo just easily is able to hold on to that. Throws it all the way forward, looking for Reggett. Reggett got around him, all alone, takes the shot, a block by Sliwa, as he was sent down to the ground after that one. Now the pass in front off the boards from Reggett, looking for Pepe. Now it's Clayton with a shot, and that gets blocked in front at the last second, I believe, by Moda.
I'd have put my mortgage money on Zach Reggett burying that initial chance.
As Pepe goes down, the crowd here at the Family Arena wanting a call there. Sliwa instead going to send it forward. Easy header by McGee. Able to move it up to Clayton. Clayton to McGee. Great pass. McGee takes it goes for the far side. Just barely misses. It's Gordy Gerson now working around Eduardo. Taken down. That's going to be a foul on Eduardo.
Foul number, correction.
That's embellishment on Gerson. I told you they were hitting the deck too early. They were hitting the deck too easily, man, and then Gerson just got called for it. That's an embellishment call on Gordy Gerson.
Once again,
he's just smiling now that he can see him.
Number 3, Gordy Gerson.
Just can't believe he got called for that, so. Ambush taking over Eduardo. Sends it into the corner. Reggett fighting for it. Tries to send it over to Pepe. A high ball in the air. Still bouncing. A header. Now Reggett taken down. No call, though. It's still loose in front, and then poked out to McGee back at midfield.
This game is getting very chippy, very quick. As I say, the Ambush are going to have to be very sound on the discipline.
Nice pinch him out of McGee. Able to beat Thiago there, and then he takes him down. And now Gerson wants the embellishment call.
Number 8 of the SeaWolves, Thiago Freitas, his first.
So they are going to keep play going. Pepe hands it off for Kochikov. He'll go off for a change, and now here comes Mario Marcos as well. Out onto the field, Clayton for Marcos. Back for Clayton, looking for the give and go, and then Elmo Neto send down Mario Marcos. And that's going to be a 2.
Hands above the neck. You put your hands above the neck on anyone, you get a blue card. It's right there in the rule book.
Neto, 2 minutes.
Said this game's got chippy very quickly.
Farmers Insurance, Mark Arnold, Agency,
big 3 minutes this for the Ambush to get on the board. With 3 minutes, 9 seconds left in the first. The Ambush power play has come alive in the last couple of weeks. I mean, it started off extremely slow with nothing on the first, maybe 10 power plays or so of the season. But now the 9 of 26. I think they scored 2 straight in the last 2 games.
They work it down for Stinson, now up for Clayton. Almeida on the back door. Back down for Stinson. Clayton, the one-timer, takes a shot. Sliwa just barely able to see that and pokes it away. Clearing it out is Orlando. Mendoza losing it to Reggett, then Mendoza gets called for the foul.
Jonathan Mendoza, his first.
As Almeida will start the power play once again.
Ambush on the power play.
40 seconds gone by, goes down to Stinson in front to Reggett. Tried the one-time shot, was blocked in front by Edwin Rojas. Clayton able to grab it himself, down for Almeida, wide open, waits, then takes a shot blocked by Sliwa, then headed back to him by Edwin.
Nice control by Lucas Almeida there. He brought it down on a dime and set himself up for the shot real well.
Gordy and McGee go up for that header. McGee gets the better of that. Sends forward Clayton. Down Stinson. Now back for Clayton. McGee. Now Clayton at the yellow line. Down for Stinson in the corner. Reggett in front as well as Almeida. In front, Reggett taking a shot, and don't think he got all of that.
But you know what, as well as Reggett's played this season, he's allowed to have an off quarter. I mean, he's had a couple of good looks as Zach Reggett. Peter Sliwa's been equal to a lot of them. Peter Sliwa's had a really solid first 14 minutes here, by the way. I mean, we know all about him here in St. Louis, obviously.
SeaWolves able to steal it away. The pass over and a shot taken by Cruz. Just barely misses the net. It goes back for Osvaldo. He takes a shot, diving save by Paulo. Looks like no discomfort from Paulo on these past couple saves after he went down. So quickly moved up to Almeida. Just a couple seconds left for JT. He shoots and scores off the steal. What a goal by JT on the power play, and it's 1-0.
Oh, it was a nice finish by JT. They got the rebound. A little bit fortuitous, but you make your own luck. And you know what? If Stinson can't score with a shot, if Reggett's not scoring, you can always count on JT Thomas, number 20 there, to put one in the back of the net to settle everyone's nerves here. Got a little fortuitous as the ball came back to him off the SeaWolves defender.
That's his 9th goal of the season for JT as he gets the power play marker to put the Ambush up by 1.
His 2nd goal straight for the Ambush for JT. He scored the last one last night. He scored the first one tonight.
Last minute of play in this
looking to steal it from Sandoval. JT still moving fast. Going after Moda. Moda almost losing it. Steals it as Adamson took a shot. Just 48 seconds left as they move it all the way back to Robert Acosta. Just went a little too far with that and then tripped up Victor France. And they're going to blow the whistle. Gerson's not happy about that. He thinks they should have let them play on.
Well, Robert Acosta was extremely solid last night. You know, we're missing Axel Duarte, we're missing Douglas DeSantos, and Robert Acosta was solid last night, but he couldn't do much there. I mean, Zivik to France was off and running. He was off to the races, and it's a penalty shot. And
Gordy Gerson against Paulo.
Gordy's going to take it. Now, in the shootout in the first game of the season, Gordy missed the pivotal kick, and the Ambush won the game because Gerson got cute. And it makes me wonder if he'll try that again or he'll just bury it.
Gerson, 12 goals on the year as we await the whistle. The officials calling for where players need to go. Sends Kochikov over a little further. And there's the whistle. Stepping forward is Gerson, the shot, and he scores, beating Paulo. And just like that, Orlando ties it right back up, and it's 1-1.
Well, Gordy learned his lesson from the first game of the year. He didn't try anything special there. He just booted it straight past Paulo. He didn't leave anything to chance. He just smashed it.
So that goal will send Robert Acosta out of the box. So we will play back at full strength for the last 39 seconds.
This first quarter has been quite a contest.
Clayton quickly moving it down to St. Louis. He gets knocked off that ball, able to send it to McGee. Gerson on him, so they send it further back for Paulo. Felipe for McGee. Now Clayton has St. Louis all the way down. Felipe wide open to his left. Clayton cuts to the right, takes a shot, goes off the boards looking for St. Louis' rebound. Instead picked up by Edwin Rojas, cleared high in the air, and that will do it for the first quarter as both teams strike once. We are still knotted up at 1.
Entertaining 15 minutes there. Tropics got off to a flyer. I thought, they dominated the first 5 minutes, and then the ambush, maybe they had to find their feet a little loosener. They were probably tight from last night. But the ambush found their way into the game, and then for the second 5 minutes of the first quarter, it was all ambush. And Zach Reggae had a couple of nice looks. Stinson had a shot, but Peter Sleewood played really well there. But JT Thomas come up big for the ambush. He did get lucky. He got a lucky bounce as it bounced off the SeaWolves defender. But I think that the SeaWolves deserve their strike too. Victor France was off and running. It was a one-on-one with Paulo, and he got pulled down by Robert Acosta. Both, it's easy to get Acosta and Schmerman mixed up. They're both big guys that played for the ambush. I think it's a fair, 1-1's a fair summary of the first quarter, and it's been a really lively contest.
They're still stretching Paulo out just to the side of the huddle. Of course, Schmerman not playing tonight. He is suspended for 1 game after getting 3 blue cards in the last SeaWolves matchup. So they're without him, but Gordy Gerson and Victor France making up for it up top.
All right, you guys, I have a delicious Andorras and Sun pizza with me right here. It's hot, it's ready. Who over here wants
A bit chippy
this
in that
pizza?
first quarter, as you said. Have a lot of passion on both sides, I think you can say. Gordy Gerson, a very passionate player, as well as a lot of players on this ambush squad. What do the ambush have to do to not let them get in their heads and making dumb penalties?
I think last year that would have happened to the ambush. I just, in the space of 12 months, I think this group of players have grown up a lot. And I think what happened last night, they could have got to them. The Tropics were coming back into the game a little bit, and they could have lost their heads to the ambush. It's happened before, but I've not seen it a lot this year. The ambush closed out last night real well. The defense obviously has to maintain strong. Gerson's a kind of player I'd love on my team, but I'd hate to face him. He's a little terrier. He's a bite your ankles type of player. He's kind of petulant, but I kind of admire that about him. He's all in, and he's a lovely guy off the field, by the way.
Oh, absolutely.
But he's the type of player that I would hate to play against. But you know what? We've got players that they're going to hate to play against, like Reggett and Clayton. And
Stinson and Reggett steal it from them right there, but they're going to call Reggett for the foul.
Ambush foul number 22, Zach Reggett, his second for the half.
And that's on Sandoval. Sandoval just going to send it over to his keeper. Sent all the way down. Paulo looking to play that. Acosta went off his arm. He didn't get the call, though, as it's going to be sent back to Iago and all the way back for Sliwa. Now Sliwa forward to Sandoval. Tried to drop it off was Osvaldo, but before Mendoza could get there, Paulo was able to grab it. Now it goes to Lucas Almeida. Almeida with some space, cuts away from the defenders and able to push it back to Eduardo. Now McGee. Vadim Kochikov comes onto the field. Sending it down for JT. JT spinning around in the corner, under a lot of pressure. 2 SeaWolves on him, so he sends it back to McGee. And then Kochikov at the center of the field.
I think one thing that we need to talk about with regards to what do the ambush need to do. The ambush need to dictate the pace of the game. If they allow Orlando to play at their tempo, it's going to be a little bit quicker, they're a little bit fresher. When the ambush get the ball, they noticeably slow the game down.
Good block by Paulo, and it's going to go right to Clayton. Clayton, one-on-one with the defender, gets pushed off the ball, and no call as Clayton being pressured by Gerson right behind him, able to get away, and then stumbling. That's going to be a foul on Gerson. No call, no goal as they gave it over to Pepe.
The whistle had gone, Pepe. The whistle had gone, son. Pepe, I know, he's a defender, he doesn't score many.
He already got one, he wants another one. Yeah. The second night in a row.
Restart for the ambush.
Still a big opportunity for the ambush, though.
But you know what, if I heard the whistle up here, Pepe definitely heard it down there. He can complain all he wants, but Gerson did foul him. For all Gerson's protestations, Gerson did pull him down.
McGee for Clayton. Clayton gets knocked off the ball and cleared out by Neto. Back Paulo. And then Moda. All the way back for Sliwa. Pepe pressuring, almost blocked that, but it's going to go all the way for Neto again. Under pressure from Kochikov, able to drop it off to Alvarez, cuts to the middle. Alvarez, the shot blocked by Paulo. He has to retreat back in his net. Now Gerson fighting for Paulo. A great move with his right hand to keep that near him. He denied Gerson, who could have had a wide open net. Nice play by St. Louis, finds Kochikov. Kochikov has Clayton as well as Pepe. Pulls up, then reverses, goes back towards the yellow line, where he gets the ball knocked away from him. Now St. Louis able to push Neto off the ball. And the ambush grab possession once again.
Need another big night from Vadim Kochikov. You know, he played really well last night. You know, he's getting these opportunities to play due to injuries. He needs to make the most of it.
Marcos cutting to the middle, giving it over to Felipe. Felipe taking a long shot, just misses off the glass. Now another shot off the glass by Marcos. No one could grab it though. Now Reggett has it. He tried to throw it to some open field. Racing forward is Mario Marcos. He's going to get there first, then tries to move it back to Acosta, but taken over by Mendoza. Almost tripped up was Neto. Trying to push through the board. Stolen by Felipe. Now Felipe hounded by 2 SeaWolves. He's kicked, and that's going to be a foul and a drop ball.
Well, Felipe just kind of stood on the ball to stop anyone from getting it. I think he intentionally stood on it there, but this game's getting chippy.
Now the ambush bench getting into it. Pepe and Clayton and St. Louis on the bench.
Well, you know, when the teams arrived this afternoon, they were all shaking hands and smiling and talking to each other. Any friendly nature that they had has gone totally out the window. The referee's having none of it.
Felipe kicks it high up in the air. Reggett able to settle that with his chest. Nice fake, giving it back to Acosta. Now Mario Marcos moving it all the way back for Paulo. Paulo sending it deep off the boards. Reggett, nice job. Grabbing possession for Adamson. The shot taken and right on. Sliwa easily goes down to one knee, holding on.
Nice hold-up play by Zach Reggett there, you know. He is a big boy, big, strong lad.
Long pass finds Gordy Gerson. Gerson, the drop off. Paulo way out of his net. A great play by him to kick that way into the stands.
There's going to be a restart from the center, I believe.
Hey fans, the ambush would like to recognize Chamber and Commerce partners and thank all the businesses who choose to partner with the Ambush and support soccer in
Put
St.
Felipe
Louis.
out there.
Direct your attention to the video.
Restart at the top of the box. It'll be Thiago taking it. 3-man wall set up by the Ambush. Thiago takes the shot, just misses in the top corner. Kept in the zone. Nice job by Victor France. Keeping that in. Then Thiago losing it to Regid, going off of Marcos's head. So it goes back to the SeaWolves Sandoval.
Well, the Ambush got lucky there that was off target, because if that was on target, I don't think the net would have stopped it, let alone the glass.
Paulo way out of his net. Dangerous play, still pushing by, and then Sandoval went for the open goal. Bounces off the boards. Adamson heading it forward, and keeping in is Edwin Rojas. Edwin trying to get back to Sandoval, and he's tripped up, and that's going to be a foul on Regid.
Zach needs to calm down. This is his third foul of the game already. Zach needs to calm down.
Sandoval with the restart. Thiago, pressure by Adamson, cuts to the outside, the shot, and just barely beats Paulo over the head. What a shot that was, going into the top corner, and the SeaWolves have their first lead of the game.
Roofed it, roofed it. Just pure power beat Paulo there. Roofed it. Really good shot.
Freitas gets his 5th of the season to give the SeaWolves the 2-1 lead.
Well, you gotta. I was worried that it was. I was worried that that was coming. I kind of breathed a sigh of relief when Thiago had that shot off the glass from the restart. I thought a little bit of the danger was over, but Orlando kept hold of it for a good long while and have managed to capitalize.
Hey fans, joining us tonight in section 101 in the J.D. Swanner Keeper's Corner is GC Alliance.
Stinson's going to start it by giving it to Almeida. The Ambush now trail by 1. Paulo for McGee. McGee drops back and waits, and then over to Kochikov. Lucas Almeida pushed on by Alvarez, able to cleanly get to Paulo.
The difference between this Ambush team and Ambush teams of the past is that we don't crumble when we find ourselves behind.
Almeida had the 2-on-1, took a shot, easily blocked by Sliwa. Now a lot of pressure at the yellow line taken by the SeaWolves, and shot all the way down. Paulo once again way out of his net. Stinson being watched by Alvarez. Just giving it back to Paulo. Long pass up, finds Eduardo. Through Lucas Almeida, Almeida to Stinson. Stinson in the corner, knocked off the ball. Still stays with it though. Able to move it back to Eduardo. Puts it in the corner. Stinson looked for the one-timer, but went between his legs. Now up against the corner, grabbed by Lucas Almeida. We'll cut across to the middle of that, and then back for Stinson. Stinson off the boards for JT. Drop for Stinson, look for the shot. Instead moves it back to Eduardo, now over to Almeida on the far side.
Thought Stinson was going to pull the trigger there, he just hesitated.
Stinson coming to the outside, nice move off the glass, and he was looking for JT, but just barely went past him. Now McGee pressuring Osvaldo Rojas. It's going to be cleared out by Orlando, but Eduardo's going to be on that. Give and go between him and Paulo as both teams make changes. Pepe able to cleanly move that to Paulo. Off the boards, Clayton back to Paulo. Long pass looking for St. Louis. Gets headed by the Wolves, and then a shot taken by Acosta.
Nice shot that by Robert. Got it cleanly, and Sliwa had to make the save because it was bang on target.
Neto able to head that one to Gerson. Gerson in front of his own bench going up against Pepe. Pepe took him down, and that's going to be a foul on number 33, Pepe. SeaWolves back in their own end, moving it forward quickly now. It's Neto. Pressured hard against Acosta, and Acosta able to knock that ball away from him. Good move, able to get up to St. Louis. Now quickly back to Pepe. Pepe to Clayton. Into the keeper, Paulo. Finding open space to get to Pepe, and then he's tripped up by Thiago. And that's going to be a 2-minute penalty.
Had to be. It had to be. Pepe just clean past him. And Thiago deliberately just stuck his hand out to pull him back.
And we have official timeout on the field.
And this is just what the ambush needed, because Orlando were beginning to stamp their authority on the game somewhat, and I was kind of worried that they'd bag one more before half time and the ambush would find themselves in a proper hole. But the ambush, they just look a little slower from last night. They just, you know, the passes aren't finding feet. They're a little off, you know, off the pace of the game. And I get that last night took a toll on them, and they're you know, a little tired. And it's easy for me sitting up here to, you know, critique them like that, because I'm not out there busting my gut. But you know, it's vitally important that the ambush stick with this and try and eke out a win.
For a group of the game. What group wants to be an awesome?
We'd like to remind everyone that the MSL now has a podcast. You can join host Craig Elston as he talks to players, officials, and coaches from across the league and takes you behind the scenes of the MASL. Check out MASLsoccer.com to listen to past episodes and subscribe to the official MASL podcast. Outside of being on the team, the best way to know what's happening in the MASL is to tune in to Kick This. Every weekend, Soccer Sam discusses the ins and outs of all the MASL action. Find Kick This every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern on iHeartRadio.
Tell you, man, I love podcasts. I love soccer podcasts, and that you got to subscribe to it. You know, a good podcast, just under an hour long, and just right for your morning commute.
McGee getting it to Clayton. Ambush on the power play. Thiago's in the box. Clayton gets it down to Stinson, looking in front, St. Louis, instead back to Clayton. Clayton back down for Stinson, looking for St. Louis in front, but just getting a foot on that was Edwin. Now Lucas Almeida after McGee. McGee back to Almeida. Almeida, oh, great play by Clayton, a one-timer, but turned aside by Sliwa and cleared out.
Excellent save by Peter there.
Almeida finding Clayton, Stinson. Now Clayton and McGee down low. Almeida in the corner, back to McGee. The one-timer, Stinson looking for the header, but that goes way over the net and into the netting. They're going to once again try and have to get that ball down.
Attention fans,
stuck.
all the Harry Potter scavenger hunt items have been found. Well, this concludes tonight's scavenger hunt. Thanks for playing.
So be Edwin Rojas with the restart in the corner. St. Louis all over him and just easily hands that off. Sliwa the long ball. Able to find Cruz. Felipe pressuring up against him, instead down to Osvaldo. Osvaldo knocked off the ball briefly by McGee, still with it. Now joining in the mix is Felipe trying to knock that loose. They do so successfully. Stinson cuts away from pressure and gets it to Almeida. Almeida has a lot of room to work. He's going to use it. Down off the boards, trying to get to St. Louis. That bounced off his foot and right to Sliwa.
And St. Louis was on his own there for the 5-6 seconds where Almeida could have gotten the ball. But Clayton's give away the foul, and he's not happy with that. "20 seconds on the penalty."
Edwin able to get to Clayton.
Make your way to the field
now
by
McGee
going to
moving
gates
forward.
by the
Orlando backs off Almeida. Now Clayton has space, looking for the shot, instead to Stinson. Stinson waits, has McGee wide open, the shot, and he scores! McGee didn't need much on it, but it beats Sliwa, and we have a tie game once again.
Beautiful finish. He stroked that home. He just stroked it into the corner. And he was a good distance from goal. Perfect weight on it, perfect precision, perfect response. Game on. 5 minutes to go. Game on. 5 minutes to go in the first half, might I say.
Still a brand new game. There's less than 5 minutes left, and the Ambush are able to strike again.
St. Louis Ambush equalizing goal. His fourth of the season, scored by number 70, McGee.
McGee gets
assisted by
his
number
fourth
21,
of the season.
Stinson. McGee
Costa, he's hit in the face. That's going to be a blue card. He goes down. And just like that, after the game, the one goal, the Ambush headed right back to the power play.
I think that was a very high boot. I think Robert Acosta was bending down somewhat, and made it not look as high as it was. But Robert's a tall guy, so even if Robert Acosta's bending down a little, oh yeah, you can't do that.
You can just get him with his foot, like his calf almost hit him in the face.
You can't argue about that.
2 minutes for kicking.
So his beard offers some cushion, like some, almost like a helmet in a way.
And I say, I do think Robert dipped down. But even so, Robert Acosta dips down. He's so tall, there's still a high boot.
The power play once again for the Ambush.
And the difference between the teams right now is discipline, for me. And the Ambush can't be drawn into this kind of a game where they're spending more time in the box themselves.
McGee, needed Clayton, down low Stinson. Looking for St. Louis, back up for Clayton. Now near side Almeida. Back for McGee, who just had the equalizer. Clayton, Knox actually took a shot. That was blocked in front. Ambush immediately going to restart it. Almeida quickly to McGee, right back to Almeida. McGee again, Clayton. At the yellow line, moving his teammates around a little bit. Then McGee has that ball bounce off his foot, regains possession though. We are 40 seconds into this power play for the Ambush. Almeida moving forward. St. Louis trying to cut to the middle. He's knocked down by Sandoval.
They're looking for embellishment. They ain't going to get it there. He did touch St. Louis. It was a contact. There was contact, but it wasn't a foul either.
McGee trying to move forward with it. Knocked off the ball. Almeida has to move it back to Paulo. Paulo makes the decision, giving it right back to Lucas Almeida. SeaWolves drop back. It's handed off to McGee. To Clayton. Clayton cutting towards the middle, then booted way out of the area by Mendoza.
Hey fans, join us on Tuesday, February 12th from 5:30 to 7:15.
Big restart this for the Ambush.
Located in Old Fallon for a team meet and greet.
The Ambush basically will have played
Who wants to go?
for 3.5 minutes with a man advantage.
Two men wall for the SeaWolves. McGee down to Adamson, and he scores! Corey Adamson, and it's 3-2. The Ambush get the lead once again.
How nice was that? Cute pass, and Adamson just had to stroke it home.
His second goal of the season. It's a big one. He got added to the lineup tonight. He makes his presence known in this first half.
And Sliwa was just chasing there. He couldn't get back in time, Peter Sliwa.
Sliwa is getting the start tonight for the Wolves. Only has started in 2 games so far this year for the SeaWolves, as Reiner House has taken the majority of the starts. He has 6 so far in the season.
St. Louis Ambush go-ahead goal on the power play.
Gerson immediately after the start of that just started racing down low. Now France got loose for a second, took a shot that was blocked in front, cleared out by the ambush. Getting there first will be Luis Moda. JT with some speed. Now Mario Marcos able to knock off the boards, and Sliwa is looking right at that. He's able to easily hold on, throws it up, able to find Moda. Moda trying to send it down low. Acosta, nice job getting on the inside on France and getting up to JT. Then JT almost knocked down, and then France gonna get called for the foul.
Yeah, he just kind of pushed JT into the boards there. Peter Slee was still furious about that Adamson goal.
Hey fans, the Ambush would like to wish a special happy birthday to...
Well, how costly were those two penalties that the SeaWolves just took? I mean, they were cruising, they were 2-1 up, they had momentum, everything was going for them, and they lose the head a couple of times. They find themselves 3-2 down.
Elementary School, SIUE.
Costa able to beat Gerson to the ball in the air, moving it to JT, then up for Clayton. Clayton waits for the rest of his teammates. Now he cuts the middle and takes a shot blocked by Sandoval, the second to left Clayton's foot, and it's gonna go into the crowd. So the ambush will get the ball in front of the SeaWolves penalty box. .2:20 left, ambush holding on to it for a bit. Gerson pressuring McGee. And Clayton moving it to Felipe. Felipe moving forward with it. Able to get to Mario Marcos. Marcos, couple of moves. Now under some pressure, has to send it to McGee, and then all the way down into the ambush end for Clayton. Clayton sending it all the way down for St. Louis. Heads it down to himself.
Clayton did really well there. He drew the SeaWolves out.
Now goes over to Clayton. Clayton waiting and then giving it back to fellow countryman Pepe.
A little swagger in the step of the ambush now. You didn't see that swagger when they were 2-1 down.
McGee being pressured by Gerson. Now Gerson chasing after Paulo. Paulo's going to send it all the way forward, able to find St. Louis. He's knocked down. 7 forward is Kochikov. They've got a piece for it, but that's being sent up into the crowd. So was Kochikov declared to have touched it last, as Sliwa heaves it forward. Thiago trying to cut around Kochikov, took a shot, but blocked immediately by Kochikov and moved back for Sliwa. Clayton getting on him with just 1 minute left in the first half. Osvaldo being pushed off the ball by St. Louis. St. Louis able to steal that from him. St. Louis has Clayton with him. Able to break away, and then coming out of his net is Sliwa. Just touches it towards the boards and able to get some free space, moving it up to Thiago.
St. Louis is furious at himself. He knew his last touch was a little too heavy.
JT racing back, able to good defensing. Paulo runs into Gerson. Gerson wants the call, but looked like just an incidental collision as Sliwa is able to cleanly play that to Thiago. Thiago able to find Gerson, and Gerson tipped that with his foot, but too far over the net.
And Gerson was back there because he was arguing with Paulo about being knocked down beforehand, and they stayed there arguing, and then the SeaWolves got the ball, and Gerson's upfield on his own.
St. Louis gets sent down hard by Osvaldo. Seems to be in some pain, holding his head. And once again, here comes out the ambush trainer, maybe. And St. Louis is a tough guy. He's able to get up on his own weight. He'll head over to the bench.
I'm going to have a look at the replay here. Big throw from Paulo.
Going up. Maybe a bit of a head. They head-butted at the beginning of that when the ball reached them.
I don't know. I look 6 to 1.5. It doesn't have the other to me. The ambush won't complain that they got the call, but
The restart, just 10 seconds left. McGee almost not far enough to win it back to Paulo. Now lifted high in the air. That bounces. 1 second left, and that will end the first half of play as the Ambush able to pull ahead of the SeaWolves, leading them 3-2.
Chippy game, Patrick, chippy game. I think if the Ambush are going to win tonight, they're going to have to work really hard for it. I mean, we thought last night was a battle. Tonight's going to be even worse. The Orlando team's here to play, they're here to win. They're fighting hard, maybe a little bit too hard, because I think the 4 penalty minutes they got has cost them dear. They could be going in with the lead right now at halftime, but they're not. The Ambush capitalized on both the penalties, and the Ambush have got a really good record when leading at halftime at 3-0. You know, we're going to make it 4-0.
That will conclude the first half for us. We'll be right back with you for the second half of play. You're watching MSL TV. And welcome back into the Family Arena, ladies and gentlemen, for the second half of play as the St. Louis Ambush lead the Orlando SeaWolves 3-2 after one half of play. Bit of a chippy first half. The Ambush took advantage of some power play opportunities.
And you know what? Thank goodness that the Ambush did have those power play opportunities. Otherwise, Orlando would be still in the lead, in my opinion. They had the mojo, they had the momentum. You know, they fought their way back from being a goal down, and they kind of lost their heads a little bit, to be honest with you. I mean, especially that last blue card where Acosta took one to the head. But, you know, the Ambush won't complain too much about it. But that's what's going to win Ambush game tonight, is they have to keep out the box. You know, if Orlando are going to keep putting themselves in the position where they're a player down, then the Ambush have to make sure that they don't reciprocate.
Second half begins. Gerson immediately handing off to France, and the shot taken just hits the crossbar. That one was taken by Thiago. Now Rega's just going to clear it all the way down, and his team gets set up once again. Sandoval back to Sliwa. Rega going to pressure him. Sending it off the near side boards, able to find Victor France. France going up against McGee. Cuts across. He saw Reggett there, so gives it to Thiago. Working down the boards, almost tripped up by Almeida. And then a nice behind the back move. And goes right back to Thiago before Almeida knocking it away. Then Thiago clearing it in front, but Gerson was at the top of the box, unable to grab that. Still fighting for it, and Felipe's going to get the foul, looks like, on Gordy Gerson.
Ambush foul number 95, Felipe is first.
And I fully expect the first 5 minutes of the second half to be a carbon copy of the first half. Orlando's going to come out flying here, they have to. But they're not going to do it like that. Gerson sends a free kick way high and wide. But yeah, I do think that Orlando will have got the hairdryer from Coach Trexler at halftime. He won't be happy with the performance. So they're going to come out flying for the first 5 to 10 minutes of this second half. And the Ambush have to weather the storm a little bit.
Third quarter has been one of the best quarters for the Ambush this season, as ball is given up to McGee from Clayton. In the middle, has nowhere to go, then just gives it back to Eduardo, going off for a change. Clayton cutting away from Victor France briefly, and able to push it all the way down. Eduardo can't get the ball from Edwin Rojas, so Gerson takes over, sending it back to the keeper.
Well, thankfully the Orlando SeaWolves finished us with the stat that they're actually -4 in the third quarter this season. They've scored 11 and conceded 15. But the roles are reversed in the fourth. You know, the fourth quarter is the big Orlando quarter. Oh, and a great little shot.
That was Alvarez with the shot and tried to go short side. Paul got his left hand, though, able to block that. Clayton, a long pass up. Found Pepe, and that's going to be a three-line violation. Just by about a foot as well.
Yeah, it wasn't far away from Pepe. He was bringing it down, cutting inside, and he was about to let rip.
It's going to be Eduardo Cruz passing it over to Moda. He took the shot as Paulo went down looking for the save. It went wide, though. Able to recover. Now Clayton cutting across. Beautiful pass to Kochikov. 3-on-3 the other way. Kochikov fights off a man, gives it to St. Louis, and that pass just a bit in front of him, or else St. Louis could have had the goal off the boards.
I'm not sure if that was a pass or a shot from Kochikov. It probably wasn't either of anything.
Osvaldo took a shot, blocked by Paulo, then ball given back to Paulo from McGee. Paulo will carry it himself briefly. Now he waits, getting it to Mario Marcos. Marcos right off the bench gets it to St. Louis. St. Louis now in the corner. Able to push forward, trying to go in front. Now Felipe, the shot in midair, gets blocked in front by Alvarez.
Nice work there from Alvarez defensively. He just kind of put his body in the way and made sure that the Ambush couldn't get a shot away.
Now Louise Moda able to find Gerson. A beautiful shot by Gerson off the one-timer. Able to beat Paulo. And this game is once again tied again now at 3.
What a really nice strike that was by Gordy. Really nice strike. Hit it full on the volley. He got everything behind it. Really nice strike. That's quieting this crowd down as well. They were not a fan of Gordy scoring against his old team. But that's what he can do, though, you know. I mean, he had plenty of time, plenty of space. He was able to line that up, and he just plowed it straight past Paulo.
And then those alumni players will play at halftime. And that is next Saturday.
Reggett starts it up for the ambush. After the goal by Gordy Gerson, his 14th of the year, second on the night. Paulo keeps it on the ground for Paulo. Nice one touch, able to find Felipe. Now down to the corner for Zach Reggett. Reggett able to push away and then gets it to Marcos. Now Costa going to slow it down back at midfield. Justin Stinson at the yellow line. Nice pass to Reggett. They give and go to Stinson, and he couldn't get the shot off. Stinson still with it. Tripped by Gerson, and that's going to be a foul on Gordy Gerson in the restart for St. Louis.
And Gordy can protest all he wants, but he tripped up Stinson there.
So Marcos has Reggett and Acosta down low. Acosta right at the post. Felipe and Stinson out there as well. Reggett taking the shot, blocked by the wall made by the SeaWolves. Ambush keep possession. Felipe trying to push forward with it. Reggett doing the same thing, but it's going to go the way of Thiago. Lifting it all the way up to Osvaldo. Osvaldo, great move. Gets it to Gordy Gerson. Gerson way out to the side, and Paulo is able to knock that ball away from him. Excellent play, but a very risky play by Paulo.
The ambush have to get rid of it, and that's a foul there against Marcos. He pulled him back. Pulled his shirt back.
That was on number 40, Mario Marcos, his first of the half.
So it's going to be in the corner, Sandoval.
They're asking for a blue card, but they're not going to get it.
Reggett going to put up a one-man wall, goes back. The shot taken, just barely beating Paulo against the post is Thiago. And once again, the SeaWolves grab the lead.
Really nice goal.
SeaWolves goal scored by number 8, Thiago Freitas. His 6th goal of the season.
Well, I said that the first 5 minutes was going to be the same as the first 5 minutes of the first half. The only difference is that Orlando couldn't score in the first 5 minutes of the first half. They've notched up 2 here early in the second. 2 really nice goals, might I add, by Gerson and Thiago.
At the end of the third quarter, the winner will receive a Schnucks gift card.
And that's just the start to this third quarter that the ambush did not need. But they've come back from goals down before. They've got to do it again. That's the one character that's really improved for me from the ambush from last season is the fact that their heads don't drop. They know they can get back into games.
Pass finding Vadim Kochikov. Him and Almeida go back and forth. Now Kochikov able to push forward down into the corner, losing it briefly. Almeida going up against France. Now loose ball pushed forward by Orlando. Clayton under some pressure, able to cleanly get that back to Paulo. Bouncing ball lifted high in the air, and that's going to be headed by Moda. Headed once again in the air by Victor France. Kept in play. As Clayton, the long pass finds JT. Tried a shot right off the bounce. That hits the glass. And the rebound goes to Orlando. Luis Moda, a lot of space on the far side. Kochikov running over towards him. And send it over to Alvarez now on the near side.
And I guarantee this time, after the halftime team talk that Orlando have got, is that now they've got back in the lead, they're not going to give it away through sloppy discipline.
Edwin Rojas, the shot, and a good save by Paulo. Now the rebound, that just barely misses as Gordy was going down as well. Pushing McGee up against the boards, working forward. McGee's able to get that back to Felipe. Nice pass, able to find Almeida. St. Louis lost it. Clayton getting it to McGee.
This is what the ambush need. They need to slow the game down a little bit, play their own game. Don't allow Orlando to dictate the tempo of the game.
Off the board, St. Louis wins the battle against Sandoval. Looks in front, and it's Pepe. His third goal in 3 games, and he ties it at 4.
3 goals, 3 games for number 33. Really nice work in the corner by Stephen St. Louis. He knew that there was a guy waiting for him at the back post. He just had to make sure he could get him the ball. Strong play in the corner. And Pepe's not going to miss from there.
Beautiful pass by St. Louis, and Osvaldo almost got a piece of that, but I think he might have knocked it in his own net if he had. An excellent feed from St. Louis, and it's 4-4 once again.
I tell you what, whoever wins this game tonight, they'll know they've been in a right ding-dong battle.
Equalizing goal, his 5th of the season.
Pepe's 5th.
Pepe. Assisted by number 9, Stefan St. Louis.
Thiago.
Pepe from St.
Back
Louis.
for Edwin. Eduardo Cruz up against Reggett. Just gives over to Edwin. Now Thiago on the near side. Pressured closely by Adamson. Down for Osvaldo. And Osvaldo's taken down by Robert Costa. And that's going to be SeaWolves' ball. And that's going to be a close restart for Orlando.
The ambush defense is going to have to get right back on that goal line.
They do a 2-man wall being set up. Paulo becoming part of that wall. It's the pass given over, the shot taken, and that's roofed way into the netting by Osvaldo. He is not happy about that at all.
Neither should he be. It was a really nice work play by Gerson just to lay it off to him. And he had a good look at a decent shot, and he just fluffed it right up.
Paulo, the long heave forward, finding Reggett, settling it with his chest, and kicked out of play by Orlando into their own bench. So McGee will start it for St. Louis. And we'll send it back to Paulo, who sends it all the way down, trying to find Reggett, bounced off his foot, and goes right to Peter Sliwa. Spinning off of Adamson. They will move it forward. Eduardo Cruz. Cruz shuffling against Reggett. And push forward to Gordy Gerson. Gerson immediately pressured by Kochikov. He's knocked down, and that ball goes back to Sliwa. Halfway through this third quarter. Ambush 1 goal in this third quarter. The Orlando SeaWolves with the first 2. As Moda and Sliwa just go back and forth, making some changes is Orlando. Adamson was pressuring, so they send it all the way down into the corner for Neto. Neto up against McGee, gives it to Sandoval in front, drops it off. Thiago pushes back, Sandoval, and a great save by Paulo.
Fantastic stuff by Paulo. I mean, the ambush guys were diving hither and thither to try and get a block in, and it was really good footwork by the SeaWolves attack. But Paulo came up big when he had to there. He was a long way out of goal too.
One-timer by Neto's going to miss everything. Rebound by Marcos off the boards. Sends it back to Paulo. And Paulo able to lift it nicely, looking for JT, and he finds him. JT Thomas has McGee. They looks for the pass over, but a good block by the foot of Thiago. Stinson, long pass to Almeida. Almeida cuts the outside, looking to go off the boards. Knee slide tackle, no call though, as Neto quickly moving it up. Mendoza knocked down.
Ooh, that's a blue card. 2-footed off the ground.
He is in a lot of pain.
Yeah, he got him right in the Achilles tendon. I saw Stinson diving in like that. I'm like, oh, that's a blue. That's a blue all day. Right down the back of his calf and his Achilles tendon.
2 minutes for a 2-foot tackle.
And yeah, he's in a lot of pain.
A yellow card against Justin Stinson for a major foul.
They need another guy in the box, I think.
Right now they only have 2 minutes on the board, and Gerson turned to the referees right after that, put up two fingers, and they confirmed it. So not sure what's going to happen right now, but that's going to be Luis Mota who went down, and he's going to try and hobble to the bench on that right foot. And he will head to the locker room.
Yeah, that's not Justin's proudest moment on the field this weekend, I'll be honest with you.
And that's the last thing the SeaWolves need. Already dressing 14, including 2 goalies, and now you're down 1 more.
I don't know, it's just a rush of blood by Justin. And as you say, I mean, the last thing that Orlando need is to have another guy out, because they're kind of short-handed anyway. But from an ambush point of view, it's also the last thing that the ambush need is to have major players in the box.
Doing some runs on the, going back and forth on the field is Drew Goff, number 97. We've not seen him tonight. You have to expect with that injury that he could be seeing some playing time now.
I think JT's going in the box too.
Thank you, Wendy's. Go ambush.
But I believe that, don't quote me on this, but I think they only play short-handed for the 2 minutes. The 5 minutes for the yellow, they'll at least be even strength.
The ambush are now in a GK Union, a penalty kill for the next 2 minutes.
It is just going to be the 2-minute power play for Orlando. Tie game 4-4. Goes down for Gordy Gerson. Nice pass finding Thiago. Alvarez goes back to Thiago. Pressuring is Felipe. Out there as well as McGee, Acosta, and Pepe. Goes over to Thiago, right back to Sandoval. Now Alvarez. Nice pass in the middle for France. Send it right back to Alvarez, and Thiago at the yellow line. Down to Gerson, and he tried to tip that on, but Paulo might have got a piece of it. Ambush trying to clear it out, but Thiago holds it in. Just outside the yellow line. Now Alvarez down to the quarter. Victor France. He's forced to go back up. Gets it to Sandoval. Sandoval, the pass over, and France didn't get all of that. As Paulo drops the ball just in the nick of the time. Gerson wanted a call, but
good job for the ambush that France did not get all of that.
A minute gone by in this Orlando power play. Pass just off its mark. Thiago will have to race back as GT will be the one that will be leaving the box in a minute. Down to Gerson, a hard shot looking for the short side, but Paulo was hugging the post, able to block that. Now in front, the pass, and a good goal by Alvarez. He was wide open, able to clear that into the net, and the power play goal makes it 5-4.
As easy as you like. I mean, he was all alone in the center there. He just had to stab it home.
Alvarez, his third.
Good work in the corner by Victor France to turn and find Alvarez.
And fans join ambush players in the Sky Zone in Chesterfield.
The ambush again find themselves a goal behind.
For a 1-hour jumper.
As Alvarez gets his third of the season.
In Chesterfield, 7 to 8 p.m.
Puts his team up top once again. So a little boxing match going back and forth between these two teams in the third quarter. There's 5 minutes remaining as Adamson gets it over to McGee. Almeida forced to get it back to Paulo. Good pass up the middle to Eduardo. Touch to McGee. Now Reggett. Reggett able to get to McGee. McGee, the nice pass to Eduardo, looking to go off the boards, and he couldn't get all of that shot, so Sliwa just grabs it in his own box. Long.
Eduardo just kind of found on that. He found himself up the field. I mean, he's a big, burly defender. He doesn't get up there very often.
Nice header by Acosta, finds Almeida. Eduardo, right back to Acosta. He has JT, and he'll use him. JT in, takes the shot, blocked, and it goes wide of the net. Now in the corner, Adamson fighting for it. Joining in on the mix is Almeida, as well as Thiago. He's able to knock it loose, and stolen right back by Corey Adamson. Great tenacity by him as it goes to Eduardo, and he was going off for a change, so it's right back to Paulo and lifted high for JT. JT able to get around Edwin. Knocks, he's looking to bounce off the glass, it looks like, as he had Kochkov and Clayton in front, but that's going to hit the netting.
Real strong play from JT initially, though, to turn his guy and get away from him.
There's Valdo able to get around two ambush players. Gets it clear to Thiago on the far side. Pressured closely by Clayton. Drop to Sandoval, then all the way back for Peter Sliwa.
And the fact that we're missing Stinson, who's in the box for this extended foul, you know, we're asking a lot more of JT. We're asking a lot more of Zach and Stephen St. Louis. And JT's looking a bit tired.
Just moving this ball around. Orlando is moving it down to Osvaldo, trying to go back to Sandoval, but instead taken by JT, and he's going to pull up before giving it to Clayton, and then instead giving it back to Vadim Kochikov as Marcos streaking forward. He's going to grab the ball in the corner. Now he waits, has some options, still holding on to it. Mario Marcos cuts to the middle, then sending it all the way back. Paul is going to come way out of his net pass to the yellow line to play this. Now Mario Marcos. Drop for McGee, back to Marcos. St. Louis now on the field, he's down by the net. Marcos takes a shot looking for St. Louis to tip it, then a nice play by Marcos to keep that in possession of the ambush. Clayton trying to get around Gerson, gets it down to St. Louis, and he slips on the ball, and then it goes right to Sliwa.
St. Louis was just looking to give it a little touch there, a little deflection to get it past Peter. I think he got a little too much on it.
Nice long pass trying to find Thiago from Sandoval. As Marcos is on him. Now St. Louis jumping up on Drew Goff. Sliwa waits. Now he takes the long boot looking for Victor France, and somebody got a piece of it. It's going to be off on an ambush player.
Paolo does that a lot. He comes out and just punches it away. He doesn't try and catch it. He just his first priority is get the ball away.
Victor France, a nice play off the boards, looking for Gordy Gerson, but a better play by McGee to knock that ball away. Goes all the way back down into Orlando's end. Sent right back by Sliwa, then it's headed out by Kochikov. I believe he wants some kind of call, but it's just going to be a restart for Orlando at the top of the box.
I think Vadim's maybe got a little point there, but
three-man wall being set up by the ambush.
Encroachment warning against the ambush.
The ambush got a warning for encroachment. Thiago steps forward, gives it over to France, didn't get all of that, and Paulo able to make the save. He was down, but not out of it. Long pass forward, looking for Clayton. Nice settle by Clayton. He has two SeaWolves around him. Gets into the corner, now France on him, able to knock that ball away briefly. And Felipe has two players on him, and he goes down hard, and that's going to be a foul on Orlando.
Really good control by Clayton to get that ball down.
Gets the goal as Orlando was not ready for it. Gerson is furious with the ref.
I wasn't ready for it. I was talking about Clayton's control that led up to the foul. And before you know it, McGee's got the ball, and cool as you like, puts a curling shot into the top right-hand corner, past Peter Sliwa. Five-five.
5-5, McGee's fourth of the season.
And that was a really good finish.
You did a great job. Not only, he could have taken the shot right after he got that pass. He cuts over to the far side where he knows the majority of the Wolves are going to have to chase over, and then he had a clear shot.
Yeah, he just knocked it to his right a little bit, give him a bit of space. Give him enough space so he could really swing his right booted it. Quality finish.
McGee from Clayton.
Long pass up to Regular as this back and forth matchup finds itself tied once again. Adamson able to fight off a man, has room, and then take a shot. That was blocked by Cruz in front. And Alvarez able to push it over. Not over, but then Almeida touched it and it goes out of play.
Everton standing on the bench so we can bark orders at his players.
SeaWolves just handing it back, and they're going to wait. Now sending it forward. Looking for Neto, but instead of Costa, he's just going to let it bounce to Paulo. Paulo slowly being closed in by Neto. Bouncing ball just barely stays in play on the boards. Now Thiago being pressured by JT, able to get away from him. Now over for Mendoza. Long pass, and Costa looked like he was going to grab that for a second. Put his hands out weird. Headed it forward though, but now it's Neto. Neto in, takes a shot right on. Paulo the easy save with his chest. Off a panel of glass. Still not out, Orlando. Pressuring in front, and they score. Thiago gets a beautiful pass for Mendoza, and it's 6-5.
And Corey Adamson's on his knees because he knows that he lost possession in the midfield there that led to that chance. And with 6 seconds to go in the third quarter, as you were, 6-5, it was 4-3, it was 5-4, and now it's 6-5.
So Frida is the second of the night, 6th of the season. Gives his team the lead once again. And the Ambush looking to get one final push in this third quarter.
Well, they're going to have to be quick.
That's exactly what they're doing. They're moving Acosta to the line, Almeida, Clayton on the near side boards, and then St. Louis is going to start at Paulo at the yellow line. Paulo waits, then sends it forward, looking for a tip, and then Almeida goes down to Costa, the shot right at the buzzer, and getting a foot on that was Sliwa to end the third quarter of play as the SeaWolves now lead the Ambush 6-5 heading into the final quarter of play.
Well, I didn't think they had a chance with 6 seconds to go, but Robert Acosta nearly made one. That has to go down as the Orlando's quarter. That was a really good quarter for them. They came down from 3-2 down to lead the game 6-5. Kudos to the Ambush, though. I mean, the Ambush were always able to claw their way back, but they were never able to get back ahead themselves, and they're going to have to in this fourth quarter now. And as I said, this is the best quarter for the Orlando SeaWolves all season. They've scored 18 in the fourth quarter, only conceded 12. So the Ambush have got to find a way to break this Orlando defense down.
And during this time, we'd like to remind everybody that the Ambush would like to thank Miter USA for providing today's match balls. Miter, founded in Huntersville, England, is among the world's oldest sporting goods brands, starting production in 1817. Miter is a proud partner of Major Arena Soccer League, providing arena-specific match balls to both the MASL and MASL2. The MASL and Miter share a long-term vision to see arena soccer grow in North America. Miter's Astro Division ball is the official game ball for the MSL League play. Miter's Astro Division designed specifically for play on artificial surfaces. It features a more accurate flight path than the average ball and has a 30% reduced bounce to make it play more efficiently in arena soccer.
Huddersfield, England, man, their team is struggling right now. They got beat 5-0 today by Chelsea. They used to be coached by David Wagner, who played for the US national team, and he's just recently left. And I think Huddersfield are going to be relegated out of the Premier League this season. But a little fun fact about Huddersfield, England, they're not far from where JT and Ross McGregor are from in Yorkshire.
Oh, there's actually a bunch in here. Our winner is going to be this one. 139.
He's getting close to being back, Ross McGregor. He's back running. He's just dying to get back into this team. I mean, he sees that the team is playing a lot better. It's a lot more together. They're gelling, and doesn't feel quite part of it again. You know, he needs to get back on the field and help his teammates out.
They've got t-shirts and some swag throughout.
Ross is here every single game cheering on his buds.
Just a great guy. Smiling face every time you see him. He walks by, shakes your hand. Just excellent individual to represent this team.
And he's a Manchester United fan, so that's why we get on. And obviously, I'd like to say hi to his dad back in England, probably watching.
Valentine's Day. Who do you want to send your love to?
My beautiful wife, Anna. She deserves it all.
She deserves it all. Does she do a lot to support you throughout the year?
Yeah,
all right, big 15 minutes now for the ambush. It would be great. It would be great to finish this weekend with 2 wins on the bounce, but they're really going to have to earn it. Because this Orlando team has had, I think this Orlando team has had their number all game. And I think the ambush were a little fortuitous to have the lead when they did. But fortune favors the brave, and the ambush have to be brave now and go for it.
Adamson waits for a second, then giving it back to Felipe to start this 4th and final quarter. Ambush trail by 1. Goals went 4-2 in favor of Orlando back in that 3rd quarter.
And Orlando were not in the box at all in that 3rd quarter, and it shows. I mean, they put up some goals.
One person the Ambusher still missing is Stinson, who's still in the box for that 5-minute yellow card. It will be a big addition once he's able to come back in, and that's going to be now. So here comes Justin Stinson, and he's back out for this 4th quarter.
And boy, do we need him.
All right, family, noise meters on the board. What's going to go?
At the top of the half dome, it's going to be Almeida and Reggett back for the restart. McGee and Adamson down low, Clayton on the far side board. Reggett, the long walk to Clayton, the one-time shot blocked and sent out of the crowd.
Big block there. I think it was Alvarez. Big block by Alvarez.
Lucas Almeida fakes the shot to Corey Adamson. Adamson cuts the middle and took a shot that was blocked by Sandoval. Bouncing ball by Reggett though, side kicked, and then saved by Sleewall pretty easily. Sandoval trying to work it up the board, stolen by McGee. McGee to a wide open Almeida. Almeida cutting forward, takes a shot, and he scores! It goes off Sleewall, and Almeida has his 2nd goal in 2 games.
Well done, Lucas Almeida. Again, fortuitous. A little bit fortuitous there. He just snuck in the inside post off Peter Sleewer. He'll be furious with himself there that he allowed that to dribble in. But Lucas Almeida had plenty of room to work with. Just took it on, took the shot. And Peter Sleewer will have to do better than that.
He had a lot of space to work, and he's able to sneak it past Sleewall for his 5th of the season. This game's back at 6. Both teams are fused to give up.
I mean, he's like 2 sluggers in the 50s going at it for 15 rounds.
2 Englishmen and Irishmen going back and
well,
forth.
I was going to talk about like Joe Louis and stuff, but if you want to go with it.
I was going for even further back, I think.
well, the English beat the Irish today in the rugby, so I'll take that. And I'm going to mention that to Vadim when I see him after the game.
Well, I don't know if he goes by where his parents are from, if he goes by, Ireland.
I go by where his accent's from, and that's definitely Ireland.
Oh, absolutely. So Orlando able to step forward with it. We're into Thiago, the bouncing ball, and Stinson gets back and able to knock that into the netting.
Important block there by Stinson. I mean, he takes some guts. I mean, he just got a major penalty for going in with his feet first. To dive in again like that, that took some guts. But he got all ball and was able to block the shot.
And they declared it went off Orlando, so Paulo starting with it in the corner, then the header by Eduardo sends it into the bench. Sliwa. Long boot forward, able to find Neto in the corner. McGee at his back. Neto spinning around in the middle. Look, and takes a shot blocked, I believe, by Stinson as JT was going to leave it. And then it's taken right back by Orlando. Coming in, they have Gerson. He takes the shot. Rebound, unbelievable save by Paulo. The other one misses. Are you kidding me? Paulo Nascimento.
Wow. And Gerson's been called for something, and he's furious. But when is he not furious?
Right after that whistle, Neto turns to Paulo and gives him a little high five. And look at this. Wide open. Jumps up and just barely gets his forearm on it. Then Gerson, the rebound, misses. He cannot believe he missed that shot.
Wow. Well done, Paulo. He's really come of age in this league in the last 18 months. Putting on a show for his family the last couple of games.
The ref still discussing it at the players' table. Now they're going to break up and we'll restart play. Headed forward and right back to Paulo after he took the restart.
A foul on the SeaWolves, number 3, Gordy Gerson.
So Gerson is going to get the foul, his second of this half. Paulo under some pressure from Neto. Able to cleanly get it, and Pepe. A lot of open space to work with. Stinson, Eduardo and him had a bit of a miscommunication, but Pepe is able to head it back to Eduardo and back for McGee. Pepe was wide open briefly, and it was covered back up.
Ooh, Vadim, yeah.
Goes in hard to Goff, sends him down to the ground, and that's going to be Vadim heading to the box now. A tripping call.
2-minute penalty to number 8, Vadim Kochenkov.
Can't argue about that. To be fair, he's not arguing about it. He was late there.
Vadim had the game winner last night against Florida. Now is Orlando making some changes. They will start another power play for themselves.
And the Ambush have to stay out of the box to win this game, man. I banged on about that at halftime, and it's not going as I planned it.
Box set up for the Ambush as Alvarez goes back and forth with Thiago and Neto. Felipe and McGee are up top for the Ambush as it goes down low. He's thinking about a shot. Was Alvarez. Instead down low, Victor France. Back to Thiago. Thiago to Neto. Back to Thiago. 30 seconds into this power play. France stepping forward, takes a shot in a leg save by Paulo, sends it out into the crowd. But he is zoned in right now.
Nice save by Paulo.
Madison Muir.
SeaWolves wanting a restart.
Tessa Welby, Hannah Henry,
They're not going to get one.
Misty Benir, Prince Atnabi,
Thiago
Leo
bouncing
Brown,
pass
Mark
finds
River.
Neto. Back to Thiago.
The Ambush have to be strong here again for another minute.
Good block. Now France, the shot going short side, hits the boards. And Pepe knocking off the boards. Felipe again lifting it forward, and it's going to be McGee if he can grab the ball. He almost had a breakaway. Instead, he's just going to knock off the boards to himself. No, McGee has a break, and he shoots, and a great save by Sliwa.
And the Ambush had Felipe wide open there.
Thiago tripped up, stumbled a bit, no call though. Goes to Robert Acosta. Acosta waits, then sending it all the way down the field. Killing more time, just 20 seconds left on this power play for Orlando. Sandoval pushes forward to Gerson. Goes outside, cutting in is Alvarez, then Sandoval to Gerson, the shot blocked by Acosta, then the other rebound by Gerson, missed the net. A shot taken from the far side by Alvarez, hits the glass in front.
Bodies flying everywhere.
McGee getting it to Felipe, and Kochenkov out of the box. The Ambush have killed it off.
The Ambush have killed the penalty off, but Orlando got all the mojo right now. They've got all the momentum. They smell blood. They've taken the lead. The last 2, 3, 4 scoring exchanges.
Thiago gets around to Costa. Down low, it's Osvaldo. Spins away from Felipe. Takes a shot, and getting a piece of that was Paulo. Now Pepe chasing after against Gerson, and Gerson's going to be called for the foul. And that's his 3rd foul of the half. He's going to have to watch out and slower in, and that could really come back to bite him if this game goes to overtime. Kochikov is able to push it back to Sliwa. Now Acosta jumping forward on it, able to get the ambush possession. Clayton to Kochikov. Kochikov waits, takes a shot off the glass and misses. Clayton able to get it away from Gordy Gerson. Now back for Pepe as the ambush are going to make some changes.
Gordy Gerson wanted to foul there for being pushed in the back, and he's got a point, you know. Clayton got away with one there.
Marcos right off the bench, finds some open space on the near side. Marcos goes to the outside, takes a shot that goes off the glass, looking for St. Louis in front. Nice hustle by Kochikov to regain possession briefly, before it's taken right back and passed forward to Gerson. Gerson going up against Clayton, goes right back to Clayton. Now Gerson another shot, that goes wide. And it goes to Clayton from McGee. Ambush making some changes. McGee, a nice move, cutting forward. He has Eduardo. To Eduardo. He shoots off the boards in front of the header. But it goes right to Clayton, who settles it and gets things set back up. Eduardo, the shot, and that hits the glass to the side of the net.
Good little passage of play there from the ambush.
He almost stole that. Able to find Sandoval, Sliwa. Adamson, the lone person up for the ambush. Dropping back was Alvarez for Sandoval. Halfway through this 4th quarter. Goes for Neto. He's going to leave it, then right back for Neto, and St. Louis is going to get the foul on Sandoval, sending him to the ground.
Ambush foul number 9.
Giving it plenty of verbals to pair them. I mean, Patrick, I don't know how you're doing this. I mean, you're doing 90% of the talking, and I'm the one that's breathless watching this. This has been absolutely stellar.
Alvarez just cleanly getting to Sandoval. Now Sliwa, since it's the 4th quarter, able to make his way past the midfield mark. He does so, getting the pass cleanly to Neto. Neto back. Sandoval, pressured by Adamson. He's going to go off for a change, so he gets it back to his keeper.
In the last minute, I mean, the game slowed down. They just couldn't, I don't think they could go at that frenetic pace they were going at for the last 5, 6, 7 minutes.
And a good steal by the ambush goes the way of Mario Marcos. St. Louis knocked that away. Now Marcos cutting inside, outside, and knocking down the Orlando player, and that's going to be a foul on Marcos. Orlando immediately started back up. Hustling forward is Mendoza. He was the one knocked out. Paulo way out of his net. And a great save by a slide tackle. Victor France in the corner. Nice pass off the boards. And they find Thiago. Goes up against Mario Marcos. Down low. And he's knocked down. No call though, as that was almost a penalty kick. Or it could have been for Orlando. Ambush able to push it forward, but a bouncing ball from Robert Acosta is going to go out of play. An official timeout with 6:33 left in the 4th quarter. And this game still knotted up at 6.
Patrick, take a breath. I mean, the game's so quick. I mean, you're trying to keep up with it. I'm breathless. And I don't know how you've done it this last 14 minutes. The game is nip and tuck.
Well, I'll give this to you, and before the game we were talking to your son, and we asked him what he thought the score was going to be. He said 3-3 a tie. I told him I don't think my heart can take that. I don't think my heart can take this 6-6 constant back and forth action.
It was a lot more laid back last night, wasn't it? It was a lot more laid back, and but this is indoor soccer, man. This is close. It's frenetic. I mean, one mistake it could cost your team the game. That's how tight this is right now. and Orlando have really brought it tonight. I've been really impressed with how they've played. Some really good goals by Thiago. A cracking right foot volley from Gerson. But then again, the Ambush have scored some really quality goals too. I mean, the goal from Pepe, it was a tap in for Pepe, but the goal was made by the work from St. Louis in the corner. A really smart finish to lead the Ambush off by JT. You know, Almeida's deserved his goal. You know, he's starting to find his shooting boots. One tonight, one last night. I think Peter Sleewer will be very upset on how it went. You know, just sneaking past him in the near side post. But this has been a really good game of MASL soccer. Paolo has had a really good game again. Lots of saves with his feet, a lot of reflex saves.
Taking a lot of chances too, coming way out of his crease to make big saves and make sure Orlando doesn't get anything started in the offensive zone.
I just hope that the penalties that the Ambush have taken won't come back to bite them.
That's stolen by Almeida off the pass. Nice ball moving by the Ambush. Felipe to Almeida, right back to Felipe, almost stolen by Gerson. They find Zach Reggett on the far side. Pressured, goes up against the boards. And the Ambush are still able to cleanly move it. Almeida, and then Felipe's knocked down. That's going to be a foul on Orlando.
That was on number 15, Victor France.
So Victor France gets his first as Gordy Gerson was in the area. Now Paulo crosses midfield for the first time tonight. Lifts it into the corner. Almeida settles it with his chest. Has Reggett and Stinson. Instead uses Stinson. Now Felipe trying to move it to Almeida, and then a nice pass by Sliwa to clear that out of danger. Moved up to Victor France. France cutting it around one person. Now Gordy Gerson all alone takes the shot. He finds the far side. Gordy Gerson makes it 7-6.
All he does is score goals. All Gordy Gerson does is score goals. That was a really tight angle. Really tight angle, and Gerson was able to find the bottom corner. Really smart goal. Great finish.
Nice pass. Felipe goes towards the post. He's just all alone as Ambush were racing back after him.
Even though Paolo was out of his box a little ways, Gerson's got a lot of work to do there, and that was a really smart finish by him, to be fair.
7 to 8 p.m. at the Sky Zone in Chesterfield. All fans are welcome.
So 7-6 our score.
And it feels like a little atmosphere has left this building. Like, how many times can the Ambush come back and level up?
It's Vadim Kochikov. Going back and forth with Robert Acosta. Kochikov gets around a man, takes a shot, goes off the side. Just barely missing the net as he had JT to use. Acosta trying to get the header, can't beat Osvaldo. And Osvaldo knocked down, no call though, as now Clayton joins in trying to knock that ball away. He does so successfully, then he's knocked down by Goff.
And Goff went steaming in there.
That was on 97 that drew Goff his first.
Paul's going to call his team up, and he's going to move past the midfield. Marquez, JT, and Kochikov down low. Clayton and Pepe as well in the field with McGee.
Got a bit of confetti from last night still on the field.
It's now Paulo for McGee. Paulo waiting, coming towards the middle was Kochikov. Not quick enough though, so they just go back and forth once again. Now Paulo sending it into the corner, looking for Pepe. Goes past him. Now JT in front. Goes to McGee, the shot. And then JT tried to get the rebound. That was up in the air.
That was close from Clayton.
Sliwa pressured from JT. Sends it all the way off the boards. And then trying to head it to himself was Neto, but that's going to go out of play. So the Ambush get possession right back. Just 3:55 left in this game.
It makes you wonder if anyone's going to start putting on a green jersey here.
And the Ambush call timeout on the field.
The Ambush take that timeout. As of right now, nobody has on that extra jersey. It usually would be Everton. If he was playing, that would be the one that wears the extra jersey.
I don't know. I think Almeida's been the one to throw it on when Everton's not been in the lineup. But you know what? Paolo's good with his feet. Just, you know, maybe they just leave Paolo out there, let him cross halfway, and see how it goes.
He's got boot from distance. He had a couple goals like that last.
Oh, he likes a shot, doesn't he? He does like to boot it from distance.
So we'd like to remind everybody that you're watching The Ambush on MASL TV. You can catch every game each week on League's official streaming home, MASL.tv, as well as getting the latest news on the MASL and your favorite teams. Make sure you are following MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram, and MASL Arena on Twitter. The Ambush talking this over, down by 1 with less than 4 minutes left. And they've crawled back into this game, tying it back up several times. No reason why they can't do it again.
No, and as I say, credit to the Ambush, the character, being able to fight back the way they have every single time in the third and fourth quarter.
That's February 9th at 7 p.m. when the Ambush host the Kansas
You know, as I
City
say, in seasons past, they keep going down like that. The heads would drop and they'd let the game get away from them.
So Paulo is on the bench now. Lucas Almeida, wearing the number 66 extra jersey, retreats back into the net. So the Ambush pulling out all the stops now. They have St. Louis, McGee, Clayton, Stinson, and Zach Reggett, as well as Lucas Almeida being the extra attacker. So 6-on-5 we will play.
I mean, this has gone the way of every single Orlando Ambush game for the last 2 years. Really close, really tight. 1 goal in it here or there.
As it goes to McGee. McGee just goes right back to Almeida as the Ambush looking for an opening. Now Clayton has to back up once again. McGee. It was just passing amongst the 3 men back. Now they finally move it forward. McGee at the yellow line. Nice play to St. Louis, and he scores! Stefan St. Louis, an unbelievable tip, and we are tied back up.
And he had to get every single inch of his, I don't know, 6'5" frame to toe poke that home. Six foot.
Great.
I gave him an extra 5 inches there, but he seemed like he was at 6'5" the way he had to stretch to toe poke that home.
Great play by St. Louis to get his 4th on the season, and just like that, it is 7-up here at the Family Arena. Both teams refusing to give up, and this is going to go down to the final seconds.
His 4th of the season, scored by number 9, Stefan St. Louis.
Lewa sends it all the way forward. Bouncing off the apron in front, Felipe cleanly getting that to Stinson. Bit of miscommunication. Stinson in the corner, gets around Gerson. Nice play to get around Thiago as well. He pushes forward, has Almeida. Gives it to Lucas Almeida, and he'll step on the brakes for a second, then gets it to Stinson, who got around Gerson once again. Gerson's still on him, though. Wide open Almeida. Almeida thought about shooting. Now he well blocked in front by Edwin. In the corner goes Reggett. 2 SeaWolves able to push that forward. Acosta at the yellow line, trying to win it forward, and now Almeida joining in as well as Reggett. Down goes Edwin, as well as Sandoval. Reggett able to push free. Nice play by Reggett, trying to pass in front. He has 2 men wide open in front, Almeida and then Stinson. Reggett able to get it away from Sliwa. Now Acosta gives it over, and they're going to call the foul on Zach Reggett.
Ambush foul on 22, Zach Reggett, his 1st of the half.
Just his 1st of the half, so Thiago will push forward with it. 120 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter. What a game this has been between St. Louis and Orlando.
Absolutely entrancing football by both teams.
So foul down low, Felipe going down as well as Osvaldo. So it's going to be on Felipe.
A very dangerous position this is too. Very dangerous position.
Thiago and Mendoza going to talk it over.
And we know Thiago can hit them. He's been doing it all night.
As Gerson is not out there, maybe resting him for the last little bit of play and a possible overtime. Is three-man wall set up by the ambush. Thiago was going to step forward and then a timeout called. As this is the biggest moment of the game for the ambush. Forget about the power play you were able to kill off.
Second correction on the play. There was a foul against the ambush.
Now in a very dangerous area the ambush are.
I mean, how soul-destroying would it be for the ambush to concede here? I mean, it's a very dangerous free kick, top of the box.
I love that. He wanted to take soccer.
I mean, I understand why the SeaWolves want to talk about it, because as you say, it's a pivotal point of the game. But the ambush have had to come from a goal down 3-4 times now in this game. You've got to think that if they go down again, they're just going to run out of steam maybe. I mean, what do they have to do to get a lead in this game?
Where my dad is moves. No, you're not supposed to wait. You're supposed to dance. There we go.
1 minute 49 seconds to go. And I've got to think Thiago's going to smash it.
Oh, there we go. All right.
As you say, you usually see Gerson loitering at the back post.
And that's one of the reasons they wanted the timeout. They get Gordy Gerson out there.
That's sexy. Great.
We'll be joined by Neto, France, Sandoval,
Oh, that's just cute.
and Thiago. Thiago's going to take this kick.
Dad, let's see your moves.
Gerson and Neto will be down low.
Oh, all right. Kind of a little shaking with it.
Ambush have out Reggett, Pepe, JT, Robert Acosta, and McGee. JT, Pepe, and Reggett form that wall. Pepe waits.
It'll have to be a strong wall.
Thiago hesitating, tries to send towards the middle, then the shot misses everything up top. And they're going to get the ball as this ball bounced out of play.
A massive cheer when that chance went begging.
100 seconds left in this fourth quarter. Paulo sends it all the way down. JT steps forward, able to grab possession. He has Kochikov off the boards looking for Vadim and then knocks over Sliwa. And Vadim gets knocked down by one of the Orlando players.
But Vadim's got called for the foul on Peter Sliwa. No quarter given in this game by either team. Everyone's ankles will be hurting tomorrow, I can guarantee it.
Ambush foul number 8, Vadim Kochikov, is first.
Luckily for both teams that there's no game tomorrow. The SeaWolves next game is away on February the 9th to Florida Tropics as they make the 1 hour journey to the same night, the ambush will be home to Kansas City Comets.
It's going to be our alumni night once again. Doors open at 5:30 to start for autographs with the alumni. Shot taken by McGee. A little hard for Sliwa, but he was able to hold on to it the second time.
Good job too, because JT was right there.
Going back for Sliwa. Long shot forward, and it's a break for Sandoval in on Paulo, and Paulo makes the big save. Saving the game once again is Paulo. 52 seconds off. Thiago cuts to the middle, gets around everybody, he shoots and scores. Thiago cut around everybody and beats Paulo making it 8-7 with just 48 seconds left.
Well, they say do unto others as you do unto yourselves. And just as the ambush won down in Florida with seconds to spare, Orlando have done very similar here, scoring potentially, I've got to think it at this point, is the winning goal with 48.7 seconds to go in the game. Paolo with a really good save initially. I think it came off his face, to be honest. But he just couldn't do anything about the second shot.
So Almeida's going to be the extra attacker once again. Gets it to St. Louis. He got the first time goal. Now St. Louis taken down. That's going to be a restart for St. Louis in the offensive end of the field. Question is, who's going to take it? McGee and Almeida are back. 38 seconds remain. Through the middle to St. Louis, trying to win over McGee. Has some space, and then Pepe takes a shot. That's blocked. That was Clayton, actually. Cleared all the way down by Orlando.
Massive shot for handball there.
25 seconds left. McGee has to work quickly. Under a lot of pressure, knocked away from him by Eduardo Cruz. Still down low. McGee with 13 seconds left. They got to work quickly. Almeida gets it to Stinson. 4-on-2, Stinson. Down low, over to St. Louis. The rebound by Clayton. Misses everything. Now St. Louis up in the air, bounces, and that ends the game. Has some great chances for St. Louis, but Orlando able to hold on and win 8-7.
Both teams have to hold their heads high. Great win, really good win for Orlando. Really good win. They had to earn every inch of that win. The ambush played the part in that game. They fought back and fought back and fought back 4, 5, 6 times, but eventually they couldn't come back at one last time. They almost had it right there at the end, but what an excellent game of soccer that was.
As both teams congratulating each other for an excellent game between these two clubs, as you said.
No quarter given. 100% from the very first whistle. It's a shame there had to be a loser in the game, honestly.
Both teams going through the line. Both goalies playing very, very good. Oh, with some key saves. Sliwa able to hold fort in that last about 40 seconds.
You saw the way that the Orlando team celebrated at the end. They knew that was a big win for them.
As Orlando is now going to move to 4-5 on the season. The ambush dropped to 7-8 now.
It's surprising that Orlando have only played 9 games so far this season.
A lot less than both. Yeah, Milwaukee, Florida, and St. Louis have pretty well all played the same amount of games. Orlando needs to play some catch-up. They should get the chance. Ambush have a big break from February 9th to February 22nd. As that will be our next 2 home games. Once again, Alumni Night, 7 o'clock. Saturday, February 9th. Doors open at 5:30. Then Friday, February 22nd at 7:35 versus Orlando. And then Sunday, the 24th, it's going to be 3 o'clock versus Florida. As we are just about to send it down to Angela, as she has Gordy Gerson with him.
Gordy Gerson here. Very well received. You're getting a lot of boos, but you are a former ambush player. Kind of moving along. Does that make this win a little bit better for you because you once played for the team that you beat today?
Oh, it's always good playing in front of these fans. They've been loyal to the ambush for many years. Like I said, they loved me 3 years ago. Now they hate me, but that's why I'm going to keep coming back and keep coming with good games.
Now, you are the leading goal scorer on your team, who notched a couple more today. I mean, when you were going into that kickoff shot there, what's going through your mind during those moments?
To me, it's just my teammates are trusting me to put the ball in the back of the net, so I got to do what I can to put it in and do my job.
And you got a number of fouls tonight as well. Is that normally your style of play?
No, it's definitely not my style of play. The game dictated what we needed to do today. We adapted, and luckily we got the result.
What are you going to take from this game into future games, either continuing to do well or mix something up?
Just our possession. Our possession was very well today. We kept being patient. I think it's gonna lead us a long way this season.
Well, thank you, Gordy. I appreciate your time. Thank you very much. I want him, but I'm going to need you, I think, for this. So McGee here is our ambush star of the game. All right, I have to ask you guys, I'm going to have to ask this hard question for you. Typically, before tonight, you guys had 3 of these back-to-backs. This is the 4th one where you've won the first one, lost the second one. What are you guys going to do to maybe win those back-to-back nights?
We have to keep working. We're putting a great effort out there. You know, it's tough to go back-to-back, but there's no excuses. We are improving, but it's not good enough. We have to keep pushing.
And McGee, you yourself had a remarkable game tonight. How are you going to continue to build on that in the future games?
Agradeço e eu trocaria esse grande momento pela vitória.
He said thank you for the kind words, and he said he would exchange the performance today for a win for the team.
Well, I like that a lot. That's very nice. And Lucas, thank you for your translating abilities here tonight. What are you guys going to take in going forward from tonight's game that may be the one thing you really want to hope to work on?
We have to be a little more organized, especially defensively. We have to get back quicker and get in position and be ready to defend. That's what's going to win games.
All right, well, thank you guys both very much for your time. Appreciate it. Back to you guys.
Well, I think that Lucas said it well there about the defense. You know, we really need to bolster our defense. We need Axel Duarte back, and we need Douglas DeSantos back. But it was a tough loss tonight. It was a really hard game. It's hard to score 7 goals and walk away with nothing. But one thing that the ambush has done all season pretty well is defend well as a unit, and you know, conceding 8 goals is not good. You know, you're struggling to put yourself in a position to win there, and they've won a lot of close games this year, but they just fell short tonight.
So that concludes it from the Family Arena as Orlando is able to beat St. Louis 8-7 for Matt Bird. I'm Patrick Kelly. Have a great night, and we'll see you next time on MASL TV.
Shot and goal!
That was arena soccer perfection.
With an absolute golazo! Goal! As good a goal as you can see. That was a heat-seeking missile.
Oh my goodness, Frank Tayu scores. Oh, heartbreaker.